start out easy. We'll alternate kind of who starts, but then everybody will have the opportunity to answer questions. So we will, and you sat in the right order, so thank you. You made it easy for me. Good job. So Sarah, we'll start with you on this one. What motivates you to want to become a board member?
So I think there's a lot of things that motivate me, but the main one that stuck out this year was that there were 3 spots open for empty chairs. And I think that I think we have a great culture here. I think that I want to be a part of keeping that going in the right direction. I think losing, having 4 open seats could change the whole dynamic of the board. So that was my motivation this year for running.
Perfect, thanks. Anna?
Okay, I feel like my answer is going to be really short.
That's okay. I should say 1 to 2 minute answers for these. We'll try a little bit.
So my motivation is my kids and your kids. So I have the opportunity to volunteer and I have the time and place to do it. And so my motivation is to continue the school culture that we have in parent choice. And I am very strong about parent choice. So that's my answer.
Great. Courtney?
I'm in complete agreement. My kids, they're going to be here for a while. So I would like to be able to have an impact on that and continue or help to ensure that the parent choice is something that stays here and that our foundation stays the way it was created.
Great. Next question, and Anna, we'll start with you on this one.
Okay.
And before I even knew what your speech included, this was not planned out. In what way can you support and elevate our athletics program for all sports? And this came in from online from a parent.
Well, I do have a background in coaching, but honestly, I think that our athletic department is doing amazing from a parent standpoint, and I think that we can just continue to encourage all the programs for our athletics, and there's always growth that can happen, so I will be excited to be a part of that.
Great. Courtney, in what way can you support and elevate our athletics programs for all sports?
Yeah, I think it's just the continued advocacy for families to get involved with our sports and then figure out ways to add more sports to our repertoire so that we can have more kids involved.
Great. Sarah?
I think Sherry kind of spoke on it tonight, and I think one of the things that drew me to the school was parent involvement. I think I don't have a background in sports like the others do, but I think being able to get people more involved, that's a huge drive for me, is just trying to get the whole parent body involved in stuff like that. And being able to be an advocate for the athletic director and be able to be a part of change like the field and stuff that's going on the Firebird facility. So
Great. Thank you. Courtney, we'll start with you on this question. Being on the executive board requires a significant volunteer time commitment, and boards function best when attendance by members is consistent. Mm-hmm. Will you be able to balance your other commitments, such as work, life, family, sports, etc., to commit to being at the required meetings in order to best represent the parent membership that elects you?
Yeah, I did actually a lot of research. I interviewed other board members just to ask what their time takes and get an idea about it so that I had a firm commitment. Because one of the things I don't do is quit, and I don't give halfway. So if I'm going to go into something, I'm all in. So I did research that, and I feel like I got it covered.
Perfect. Sarah, do you feel that you will, or will you be able to balance your commitments?
yes, much like Courtney, I have talked to many board members, and if you're at the elementary, you've probably seen my face. Just this year, I'm probably going to clock over 500 volunteer hours, so I'm definitely committed to the school, and this is just my next step up that I feel I'm drawn to now.
Great.
Do you mind repeating the question
Yes.
so I answer it?
Yep. No, I was going to. So being on the WCA Executive Board requires a significant volunteer time commitment, and boards function best when attendance by members is consistent. Will you be able to balance your other commitments, such as work, life, family, sports, etc., to commit to being at all the required meetings in order to best represent the parent body that elects you?
Yes. So much like Sarah, I will be clocking around 500 hours of volunteer. So I think my husband's actually excited that I'm running for the board because he thinks that might go down a little bit. But I would say that I do not commit myself to anything that I can't fully commit to. So that's why I've been a stay-at-home mom as long as I have, because I will not go back into the workforce until I can fully commit myself there, and my time is at home right now. So yes, I definitely will be able to fulfill my commitment on the board.
Great. Coming back to the beginning. So Sarah, a question that came in from the online from parents is, what is your stance on a 4-day school week?
I mean, it sounds great when you're an adult, but, you know, I actually had the benefit of being on the calendar committee this year, and that was actually discussed a little bit. There's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot administration and talking about if they're enrolled in college classes, and there's just a lot of different aspects that would have to really play out. Personally, I don't mind. But yeah, I would be eager to see all the data that would support if that would be the right decision for our school.
Anna, what is your stance on a 4-day school week?
So my personal stance as a parent, I have young children, and I love to advocate for your kids being at home with you. Like, we send them off to school so many hours of the day, and I just feel like some of that gets robbed from us as parents. So as a parent, I really do, I would love that, 4 days, that would be awesome. Because there's a lot of adults that have 4-day work weeks, and it seems to work well for them. However, there's a lot that goes into it. I do know that it's not as easy as just I would like that to happen, because it's not just elementary. We also have middle and high school, and like Sarah had touched on, there's college courses, there's other things that go into play with the school days, and I would encourage anybody to come to those calendar committee meetings because they're very interesting and you do learn a lot. So
Great. As a parent of a 13-year-old daughter, let's see if your stance changes as they get older. So, Courtney, what is your stance on a 4-day school week?
I am 100% in love with the idea most of the time. No, just kidding. Like, I do love it as a parent to have my kids in my house, but from a practical aspect and mindset, you have to think about all of our single parents that are out there, or split households that are out there, and they do rely on the consistency in a schedule of a school, and so I think it would be a very difficult decision to make to go to a 4-day work week because of the impact that it could have on some of those families that utilize the school as a support system for them. So it would be something I'd have to really get more data on and learn more about before you'd ever make a decision.
Thank you for those responses. Anna, how do you plan to engage and involve parents and community members in the governance and decision-making process of the school?
So I would say that I am going to advocate for parents to be present at these board meetings. Come to the board meetings, these monthly board meetings. There's a lot of information that is talked about that you would love to know about and have a right to know about. So just trying to engage them through just hallway conversation and saying, come to these meetings. We would love to hear from you. Your voice is always wanting to be heard. So that's kind of just talking to them and telling them to be present.
Courtney, how do you plan to engage and involve parents and community members in the governance and decision-making process of the school?
Yeah, I think, again, advocacy, just getting the word out there, just being involved more in the schools, to be on the same basis, with the parents, and just try to get them to come to the coffee house meetings, or again, come to the board meetings and learn more about it, or at least read the agenda packets that are online, or the minutes afterwards, and so you can gain a lot of information there.
Okay. Sarah, how do you plan to engage and involve parents and community members in the governance and decision-making process of the school?
Much like them, I think that knowledge is power, and I think that we have a school that allows us many opportunities to gain that knowledge and be a part of a lot of different things, a lot of different committees, a lot of different avenues that you can really have a voice in. And so I think maybe helping get that word out about, like, everyone can come to those, these are when they are, I think that's probably where I would start.
Okay. Next question, we'll start with you, Courtney, I believe it's your turn with this one. What do you feel are the current challenges facing education school boards?
Holy smokes. I've read a few online. They want to change like the policies about like how the land and buildings are used between the district and the charter schools, or yeah, I don't know. There's just several things that are just interesting right now. So I've already forgot the question because I started talking.
Just current challenges facing, what do you feel are current challenges facing education boards?
I think the world in general, there's a lot of things that are just out there that are coming at the districts in a different way. And it's kind of, yeah, there's just kind of like a lot in general. Yeah, that's it. I answered that.
Sorry. Sarah, what do you feel are current challenges facing education school boards?
I think the challenge in my perspective is not educating yourself and being able to, I found out coming to the board meetings that I was really naive 2 years ago to all that goes on up here, and certain things that I'm like, why aren't they doing that? Well, they legally can't do that. So I think learning and investing time into the process of, yeah, I've lost it too. But yeah, investing yourself into learning more about the board. I think a lot of people, just myself included, just didn't quite understand. So I think once you understand, you're able to kind of answer your own questions.
Okay. Anna, what do you feel are current challenges facing education school boards?
So I think I've said it several times tonight that I'm very parent choice, and I feel like the state that we live in is trying to fight us on that. So I think that is something that the board members are currently dealing with and will have to continue to deal with, and trying to figure avenues on how can we fight back but still be in the realm of legal, because there are there could be, and there laws that are in place at the state level that you have to follow as a board. And I think, like Sarah had touched on, that attending the board meetings, there's a lot of times where as a parent I was like, why have they not done this? And then you come to these meetings and you realize, well, wow, their personal choice may be different than what the law or policy or something that they're trying to do. So I think that that is our biggest hurdle right now, is continuing this parent choice culture and allowing every parent to have their own decision in their child's education.
Okay, thank you, candidates, for your answers there. And so I'm losing my order now here, so back to Courtney, right? No, who started that one? Yeah,
It's me.
you this turn. No, Sarah.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I started with 3, so yes, it's your turn. I have them numbered, so trying to be very fair. It doesn't really matter, but just so they don't all have to answer first. So sometimes.
Thank you.
So, so kind of following up in that same, education challenges, but what do you see as the board's roles and responsibilities?
Well, so I think the board's roles and responsibilities are actually they're put out there almost like a job description. They're in the bylaws and the charter agreements, and much like a vice president might have a different role and responsibility than the treasurer. So I think that is, yeah.
Okay. Anna, what do you see as the board's roles and responsibilities?
So from attending the meetings, I believe that my understanding of the board is that they create policies, and those policies are then passed down to the executive or the director of education, and that role then creates the policy or the procedures that will align with those policies. I would say that, oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so can you repeat the question one more time?
Just the
Sorry.
board's roles and responsibilities.
Okay, so yes, and I think every board member does have a different role. You have the president, you have the vice president. Their roles are definitely going to be a little different than the other board members, but yeah.
Okay, Courtney, what do you see as the board's roles and responsibilities?
I think they're there to hear the different issues that arise for the school. They're there to approve or deny different policies, and then they're there to hand those policies down to the executive director who will implement that throughout the school.
Great. Thank you, candidates. Anna, what do you believe sets our charter apart, and how would you work to maintain and enhance its unique characteristics?
So, again, I feel like a lot of my answers are the same. I feel like what sets us apart is our parent choice. We want the parents to be involved in their children's education. I know that for myself, that's a huge reason why my husband and I chose this school for our children. So I think that just in the community, I mean, you can feel that. Some of the things that are going on at the other schools are definitely different than what we would be proud of at this school. So I just think that the parent choice is definitely, in my mind and in my parent eyes, is the biggest thing that stands out to me. Because it's definitely not the driveline, because that's
That's my favorite subject.
Courtney, what do you believe sets our school apart, and how would you work to maintain and enhance its unique characteristics?
So I love our school, and I love all of the things that they do for my children and all the others that need additional support. I love the fact that they do offer those unique capabilities and resources for those situations. I love how they go, they're able to offer those higher standards in different education paths for all different types of students. And I love that they are top-notch when it comes to safety and security. That is one of the committees I love being on, and I love how much effort our school puts into that. So I am here to 100% support and back up in any way that I can what needs to be done in this school to maintain those things, whether it's continuing to be on more committees and give more input, to talk more with parents, to help bring their concerns to the table and implement them. So.
Great. Sarah, what do you believe sets our charter school apart, and how would you work to maintain and enhance its unique characteristics?
So when coming to Windsor Charter, there was a few things that really stood out to me. One was parent choice. Two was how involved our parents actually are. The fact that you have to do 35 hours every year, and many of them go above and beyond that. And I think that walking the halls and seeing parents constantly and having my kids know other parents, like we're a community where we're all, it takes a village and we're all helping each other in this journey. And I think another thing that sets us apart is our administration. I have seen being able to be behind the scenes doing certain things with them. They go above and beyond, and I think trying to support them and make sure that they're heard and continue to advocate for that, and that's how I would support that.
Thanks, candidates. Courtney, Windsor Charter believes that when it comes to students, all means all. How do you plan to support this objective of supporting all students?
Yeah, and they do. They mean that. And I love that. I think every child has every reason to be at this school and reach their potential. And I think Charter does an awesome job of helping students reach that potential no matter where they're at. So again, I would come back to that advocacy of how can we support the school to continue to do that? And that is, I think, through just getting the word out about what we do and figuring out what the staff needs and different tools and how we can implement any of those things to continue to support.
Sarah, all means all. Windsor Charter believes when it comes to students, all means all. How do you plan to support this objective of supporting all students?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think that, I think there's been some issues, you know, throughout the schools that I've been witness to, and I think that all parties involved are very important. I think that we saw tonight, we saw the SAC committee be able to go through and pull some data on that, and I think that's very important information, and I think that's, you know, as they had discussed tonight, it's a very serious thing, and I think we're trying, and I think this school is very capable of being all is all, and I think it's important to advocate for that, and I think it's important to get the data and be on top of it. Like, don't let it slip through the cracks. Make sure that we're always on top of it, not just maybe once a year, maybe, and again, I don't know how often, I've only seen out of court tonight, but, you know, every 6 months follow up, and I think our administration does a good job at that, but I think that's a huge part of the board's responsibility is to make sure that we are on top of that as well.
Great. Anna, Windsor Charter believes that when it comes to students, all means all. How would you plan to support this objective of supporting all students?
So I would first like to say that I think the board has amazing policies in place and that the administration is following those policies out with their procedures. I would like to say that I think the all means all is very important because a lot of us chose the charter school because of that. Everybody is welcome, and in academics, this school is hard for academics. And what I love though is that whenever there is an issue at the school, whether it be academic, all of the teachers will come together and they figure that problem out. How do we help all of the students succeed? How, you know, if there's a problem at the administration level, I have seen where they all come together and try to figure out how do we figure this out for all. So I think there's already really great things in place from the board standpoint and administrators. And it's all about learning. This is all continued education, not just for the children, but for all of us. So I think that I'm just excited to be a part of that moving forward.
Great. A parent question that we have, and we'll start with you, Sarah, on this one, is, and I do not have the research on this, so this is a parent stated question. Colorado Ballot Initiative 160 is currently working its way through the legislative process and to be on the November ballot. This initiative aims to protect Colorado girls' sports and spaces, ensuring safety, fairness, and equal opportunities for female athletes. If this measure passes, how would you support policies at WCA that would prohibit biological males from participating in girls' sports and protecting our girls' athletics and locker rooms, protecting our girls in athletics, locker rooms, restrooms, and other areas where biology, safety, and privacy are implicated?
So I don't know the bill that you're speaking of. I look forward to working with the board members. I'm sure they're a lot more educated on that than I am. But also being able to go to these coffee with leaderships and different types of things. They've already implemented certain things that is going to protect privacy issues. I don't think that would ever be a situation at this school that we would have to worry about. I think that they're already planning ahead for certain things, and privacy definitely wouldn't be one of them. But I look forward to learning more about that. I look, and learning from board members and being able to educate myself.
Great. Anna, if this measure passes, how would you support policies at WCA that would prohibit biological males from participating in girls' sports and protecting our girls?
Okay, so the first part of the question, is it asking?
It's
asking if a law was passed.
It's saying that Ballot Initiative 160 is working its way toward.
And if it was passed.
And if it was
what
passed,
policies would?
it aims to protect Colorado girls' sports and spaces, ensuring safety, fairness, and equal opportunities for our female athletes. If this measure passes, how would you support policies at WCA that would prohibit biological males from participating in girls' sports and protect our girls in spaces where privacy matters?
Okay, so for me, this was one of those hard questions to answer because personally, I may have a different response. If there is a certain law that passes, and you're held liable on the board. I think a lot of people don't realize that you are held liable for certain decision making. So we wouldn't take that lightly. I know that the current board members, every decision they make is not taken lightly. However, you have to continue to, our policies have to align with the law of the state that we live in.
Courtney, shall I repeat the
I
question?
think I'm good.
Okay.
So again, I don't know the depths of that bill, but I do know that our board on this school operates under the bylaws that are subject to the rules, guidelines of the, I forget the acronym, but it's the Athletics Association or whatever. So those are the, yes, thanks. That's the guidelines that we operate under. So I am sure that that would be considered in how we would move forward.
All right. I'm being told we have one more question. Before I go from here, is there anything in the audience that you want to address? Okay.
Did you look to see, were there any sheets turned in while we were running our meeting earlier? I just want to make sure that audience members had a chance to.
I don't think so, and I called for them.
Okay. Thank you.
An easy one to end with, but now I have to check my number. So we are on Anna. Starting with you. Is there anything else you would like to share, or any additional qualifications and expertise that you think are important for us to know?
So I would like to end with letting all of you know, this right here is not my strong suit. Trying to public speak is not a strong suit of mine, but if you catch me at Coffee with Leadership or anywhere outside of the halls, you might tell me to stop talking because you have to leave. So I would just like to end with, like I said earlier, I am advocating for the best education for our children, the safety of our children while they're here, and just continuing the work that these amazing board members that we've all voted in and placed in these positions for a reason. I'm just excited to be alongside a lot of them to learn a lot more and be a part of the progression with WCA.
Courtney, anything that you would like to add?
I will echo a lot of that. I am extremely passionate about this school and my children, and I just really do want to take the next step to do whatever I can do to support our staff, to support our students, and to help make Windsor Charter, and continue to help make it, because it already is pretty great, the best place for our children to be. So that is my goal.
Great. And Sarah, anything that you would like to share?
Yeah, I have such a passion for this school. I have grown very close to many parents. Like I said a little bit ago, I think it's a village, and I'm grateful and blessed to be a part of it. And I think that I have been trying to build a culture in the elementary school and had the opportunity to do a lot of things. And yeah, I'm super excited. I did not take this decision lightly because I love the PTC and I love what we do for the teachers. Teachers are huge for me. So it took a lot for me to step down from that, but I'm leaving it in good hands. And I feel like this is my time to be on the board.
Great. So that's all the questions that we have for the town hall. Good job, candidates. I do want to share that there are 3 seats open, so we do have an uncontested election this year. However, this election process is very important, so please encourage those that you know to still vote, to be involved, to come to these town halls and be representative and involved in this election process, because that's not always the case. So our next steps on this is we do have in-person voting available this year, so we will have both in-person and online voting available. The in-person window will open April 15th through April 24th, and that can be done at any school office. So you can go into the school office during school hours, the 15th through the 24th, and cast your vote there. Or you can vote online April 22nd, it will open at 3 p.m. and that window will close April 24th at 3 p.m. You don't get to vote both places, you only get to vote once. There will be verification, but you can do either opportunity. So we will have, the election will open during that time frame, and then on April 25th, we will announce the board election results. So thank you all for participating tonight. We appreciate the attendance, and thank you candidates for all that.
Thank you.
Thank you.